So, so we just previously created the column headings here and the row titles here. And now we're going to start putting in the values for this financial projection. So the scenario behind this, in case this isn't, obvious, um, Caitlin's Ice Cream Shop, they operate kiosks at colleges and universities, and they serve both hard and soft ice cream. Each December and June, the Chief Executive Officer, the CEO, they project monthly sales revenues, cost of goods sold, gross margin, expenses, and operating income for the upcoming 6-month period. This is based on figures from the previous 6 months. So what the CEO needs now is an easy-to-read worksheet that shows financial projections for the upcoming 6 months to use for procuring partial financing and for determining staffing needs. The worksheet should allow for quick analysis if projections for certain numbers change, such as the percentage of expenses allocated to commission or the cost of kiosk rentals. So basically what you're doing is you're creating a financial projection to influence decisions made after or made before and after those 6 months. So if you perform a 6-month financial projection, you can see what types of bonuses that they're going to have to plan for, what the commission will be, so they can look to see whether they need to hire additional staff or they need to increase the financial pay for site rental. Same thing, they wanted to see if their rent will move throughout the next 6 months, marketing, how much they should spend in marketing, and whatnot. And they can kind of see what the revenue is going to be like based off of previous figures that they had before. And it looks like, since it's an ice cream shop, depending on where they live, these, in some parts of the United States, these could be the winter to spring months, okay? Whereas other parts of the world, like Florida, okay, it starts becoming 90 degrees in February. And so ice cream is relevant throughout the entire year. So it just depends on where they're coming from. And since there's not a location given, we're just going to basically be given specific values and have to work with them. With those values, you're going to have to perform different calculations through different formulas. You're going to definitely want to pay attention to this part and make sure you get everything right. When we start inserting values, make sure you put them in exactly as they should be. Okay, so we're going to start with our what if analysis here. Okay, so we're going to, or what if assumptions, we're going to assume that the margin what if assumption is going to be 78.75%. The bonus will be $3,500. Sales revenue for bonus would be $65,000. Commission, 25%. Site rental, 10%. Marketing, 5%. And equipment repair and maintenance, 3.5%. So we're going to be using this to calculate how much we should spend based off of the revenue and whatnot. Okay, so now we're going to enter the projected monthly sales. So this is the projected revenue that they assume they're going to collect over the next 6 months. So B4, we're going to assume that January we're going to make $55,000. In February, we're going to assume we make $62,500. In March, we're going to assume $67,000. So it looks like as the year progresses from January, that the demand for ice cream is much more prevalent. So this is probably Okay, June, $74,750. All right. Now we're going to generate our sum, which is our total. So it will equal sum B4 through G4. So the total revenue for the first 6 months is estimated to be $427,000. Now, we're going to want to make sure we date stamp this financial projection. That way we can see when it was created, and after those 6 months have been done, we can look at our figures to see if the revenue that they collected was true, whether it was more than what they expected or less what they expected. So if it's more than what they expected, then everything works out fine. They won't have to do too much changes. If it's less of what they expected, they might have to cut back on specific things, whether it be employees or whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and format the system date and insert a timestamp. So we're going to go up here to H1 here, and we're going to use the now function. So we're going to go up here to formulas, insert function, now. So the now function returns the current date and time formatted as the date and time. So it's 2/24/2018 by the time I'm making this video, so Saturday. It's 2:35 p.m. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to format this date here. We're going to right click and hit format cells. Now we're going to go to the number tab, and we're going to go to date. And then we're going to find the 3/4/2012 format. So it will end up being 2/24/2018. Now we're going to double click the border between H and I to make best fit here. So what that does is the best fit will automatically adjust the column width so that it will just hold the values. It won't waste space. It will go ahead and save.